function. We're going to create onPress function, which is going to have this expression. We're going to have this expression, and it's going to be keyboard, which we're going to import from React also, .dismiss. So when you dismiss it, you call that dismiss function on it, then it will work perfectly well. I already have this. No, what am I? Keyboard, just keyboard. So I already have this keyboard here. It's imported here, so we're good. Why is it okay? Let's try it. Keyboard can't be fine. It's keyboard. It's keyboard. So why is it not working? Oh, sorry, my bad. It's a capital key, K. So it's a capital K. Okay, so now look at it. When we click on this part, it shows, right? When we click out, it goes out. That is the functionality we want to achieve. Now we've been able to achieve that, which is brilliant, right? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do this. Now when we put in something, it shows. But what we're going to do, if you remember vividly, the last time I used something called security text entry, which is, and I set it to true. But if I set this to false now, look what's going to happen. And I put in my password, so it's showing, right? But if I set it to true, look what's going to happen. It hides it, right? But I want to give it, logic right there that I'm going to use states in React to do this. But how I'm going to best do it is to basically create a state, and I set that state to, and I do the logic in that state, and I give that this condition, this secure text entry, I give it that instead of giving a true or false condition, I give it the name of that state function. I give it the name of that state. You know, so what I'm trying to say in the instance is that I'm going to create a state. I'm going to create it here, and I'm going to say const, and I'm going to create I'm going to use state. I'm going to use state. I'm going to use state, and I'm going to set it to true. Let's set it to true. True, yeah. So here I'm going to have, let's call it hidden, and I said set hidden. Those of you that have been following my tutorials, you'll have noticed I've used state in so many of my tutorials. It's one of React's book, which is very, very good to set a state in React. Maybe you want something to do something, and you have a state that you use a state to control that functionality. It's very powerful. It's a very powerful hook. You know, I've been using it so many times, and it's been giving me a great experience. So I implore you to delve into, use state, and take advantage of that hook and use it to the maximum. Okay, so now instead of putting true here or false here, I'm going to say anytime I click this one, once I click it, I want to change the state of my change that state of something. The state I already declared, change that state. So I'm going to go to where I have this show, and I'm going to say onPress. I'm going to say onPress, but before I say onPress, I actually thought about something. Why don't I wrap this in a touchable opacity so that I can add effects, which I already have though? Yeah, I already wrapped it. Oh, beautiful. So I'm going to declare it here onPress, and I'm going to have it this way. I'm going to call in the function here. I'm going to call the return anonymous function here, and I'm going to say set hidden rather to the opposite of hidden, anything it is. If hidden was true, set it to false. This function makes you toggle. Instead of you writing this thing to it. Like if I click it, set it to true. If I click it again, set it to false. No. Once you use a toggle functionality, a toggle logic, you don't have to do those two. So I wrote two expressions now with just one line of expression. So this one, when I click here, it set the state of that hidden to the opposite of what it was before. So now I'm going to use that state here. I'm going to write hidden here. You understand? So what I'm trying to say is that once I click, it's saying right now that hidden is not a function. So let's see what it's trying to say. It says set hidden is not a function. So let's see where we declare it. You see? So it's working now, but you can't really see. Okay, let's see. Right? It's working, right? Perfect. So what I want to also do again is that when I click this, now it's already showing, right? So we shouldn't be having the word showing again. It doesn't make sense, right? So I wanted to change it to hide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a condition here. I'm going to say if hidden is true, if we have hidden, then if it's hidden, then render show for me. Render the text show, and otherwise please render the text hide. Perfect, right? We achieved that. This is so great, right? So what next we need to do now is we've achieved the part. So we are close to the end game. So what we want to do right now is when we click on this function, on this input, I want this text to change to something else. So how to do it is very simple. I'm going to use something called I'm also going to use state here to use state, which is a powerful tool. I told you already, right? So I'm going to change this. I'm going to create a new state. I'm going to say toggle show. I'm going to call this toggle show, yeah, text. So this is what we want to do. So what we're going to do now is we're going to declare functions for our inputs. So we're going to say to that part that on blur and on focus, when you're focused, I want you to set my inputs, to set my show to, when you're focused, set my show to false. Okay, when you're focused, set my show to false. And when you are blur, which is when you're not focused, when I say you're focused, that means we are focused on it right now, right? But when we're not focused on it now, set my show to true. So we're going to create a function here. We're going to create two functions actually, and the first function will be, okay, to create a function like this, let's just create this function. Let's create it like this. Let's use the old way of creating function and the focus. And we have toggle show text to what? We set it to false, like I said. We can actually copy this and paste. I will say we call this undo blur. I will set this to true. Okay, guys, you may be thinking, why are we doing this? What is it going to achieve for us? You're going to see the result at the end of the implementation right now. Just hold on. So we're going to say to our text inputs that here I'm going to say on focus. On focus, do this. Oh shoot. Undo focus. And on blur. Undo blur. On focus, undo focus, on blur, undo blur, right? So I'm going to copy this too. I'm going to paste it here too. So because we need it for password, we need it for here also. So look at it now. Although you're not seeing anything right now, right? So perfect. So you're gonna see the result now. And what we want to do right now is when we on focus, we want the text to change, the heading text to change. And how to best achieve that is this. We are going to say that when the show text, this show text we should call it show, or let's call it show text so that we can know what we're referring to. So we're going to say when we have the show text, it's going to be here when we have hello. So all these ones, this one, we're going to say we're going to want to have a logic in that area. We're going to say when we have show, right? Do something. When show is true, which is originally true, right? When show is true, do this. Because when we click on the input, you remember that on focus, we set our show to false, right? So when we set it to false, there's something we want it to show for us. But when it is true, that is when we're not focusing on any input part, we want to render this. When we are not focused, please do this. Let me use this text again. I have to do it right. Do this. But I already created a style, so I'm going to make it 3. I already make it 3 style. So here I'm going to say sign into your account. Check what's going to give you guys. So when you click this, you see. When you click out, you see. When you click this, you see. When you click out, you see. That is the functionality that I want to achieve, which we just achieved right now, which is brilliant, right? So now, what next is this? We need to do this, right? So what we need to do on this part. So you see how we use the undo focus, undo blur right now, because when we are on blur, which is we're not focused on any inputs, it changed our show text state to true, right? And in that ways, when we have a true, we render this text. When we have a false, we render this text. And when we click on our input, which is on focus, right, and it set our show text to false, and what we need to render this text is show text must be false, right? So once it's false, which on focus helps us to achieve, it will display this for us. You see how beautiful that is. That's a logical functionality, which is very nice. It makes you enjoy JavaScript when you start understanding how to change states, how to do logics and all that. It's so brilliant. So now we need to create this function, this other part. So what we need to do here is very simple. We go to where we have create account and create account, and we're gonna give it we're gonna say it should navigate to a different page. And how to best do that is very simple. We say on press, and we'll declare the function. We say give it an arrow function, ES6 arrow function, and we'll say navigation.navigate. So where do we want it to navigate to? We want it to navigate to the sign up page, right? So remember that name you gave it on the app page, that name you gave, these names is what you use to navigate. Okay, so when we use that name now here, we just say sign up page, right? So when we save it, so when I click here, so it's saying that navigates. It's saying that the action navigate with payload name sign up was not handled by any navigator. The reason is because when we go back, what is the names? Like I said, it must be exactly the same name. The way you write it, uppercase, lowercase. So what we have here that is making it not work is because our U is in uppercase, which is supposed to be in lowercase. So when we click it now, it goes to that page. And we already set this page, right? I'm going to walk you through how this page is being set. It's very simple. I mean, if you follow this tutorial at the beginning, you should be able to create this other page. It's as simple as that. So I'm just going to walk you through how it was done, all the things that we have there. So first and foremost, what we normally do when we want to start a React Native page is to write rn React Native function, and you can write function and style. If you click enter, it gives you these boilerplates. And also you can do it this way, ES. See what it's going to give you. It's going to export it for you, but the first one export by default. Let's go back. You see export by default, right? The first one export by default, but the second one exports, oh shoot, it export afterwards, you see. So it's up to you. Basically, I always love to use export by default. So it's up, I mean, we can use anything really. You can use anything. We can use anything really. So that was how I got this whole thing set up. So we're not going to do that right now. So take this out. The Firebase, okay, let's take this out for now because we're not going to touch Firebase today. And let's take UUID. Let's leave UUID, but we're going to use it when we're setting in Firebase. But right now, we're not going to use it. So I think we should just take it out also, because since we're not going to touch it in this tutorial. So what we're going to do basically now is that we've set up this page. How did we hide this? The only thing we use on focus and on blur to do that. We already said that when, look at it, there's a function within, there's a show text. Only then you render this text, but then there's no show text, don't render. So we didn't use if show text is true, render this or render that. We don't use AND operator. Both must be true for that functionality to work. So that is what the double hand sign or double hand sign operator means. That's what it does actually. And if you use this one, it means that if one of it is true, then go ahead. But that is not the logic we want to try to do here. I'm going to explain to you how this page works. So what we have here is basically what we've been saying all the while. When you click on law, it shows you that and all that, and also when you sign in. But we've not set out those parts today, so we're not going to touch that part today. In the next series, we're going to talk about that. And when you click on the login, it takes you back. And we use navigator for that. Look at it here. We said when you click on the login button on press undo back, and our undo back here, it simply means that navigate to the home screen. It's as simple as that. Okay, it's just to write the right codes and you have the right expression. So when you click here, it goes back straight here. So I believe that we've been able to achieve what we need to achieve today, how to move from one page to another using Navigator from React Native, and also how to stack our pages to know which to render first and to declare on our stack.navigator which is the first route or first page, which is the second. But once we declare the first page here, it knows that, okay, home is the first page. I'll have to render home at every rendering. Once I launch the application, the first page to render is the home page. And also, very, very key point I need to say here, if you don't arrange this the way you want them to show, it may be an issue. If home is the first at the top, if you have 3 pages and the first page is now brought to the bottom, you may have an issue right there. So it's just in the contemporary way of writing. Just make sure you write it as you want them to appear. So guys, today I'm going to stop right here, and I hope I've been able to convey the knowledge I intend to convey in this video, and I hope you're able to take on something from this video. If there's any observations you notice in the video that you want me to correct in the next video, please be free to let me know. I mean, with your input, with your comments, with your feedbacks, I'm able to get better. I'm sorry that I took a while before I dropped in another video. It's been busy right here for me. I've been busy and I've been trying to squeeze out time. I'll try going forward in the future to make sure that I drop videos at a close interval, not too wide. Thank you so much. Any critics, any comment is welcome. To me, it's a feedback which I build and developed on. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.